Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to take you on a journey through the Golden Age of Greece. Today's presentation is titled, A Journey Through the Golden Age, and we'll be exploring some of the most remarkable aspects of this incredible period. We'll dive into Greek philosophy, theater, and historians, key elements that shaped Western civilization. So, get ready to discover how these ideas and achievements continue to influence us today. Let's get started. Pericles once said, "The secret of freedom is courage," and I think that really captures the essence of what made Athens stand out. When we talk about the secret of happiness, it's rooted in freedom of thought, expression, and innovation. Athens was truly the birthplace of ideas that continue to shape our world today. It wasn't just a city, it was a hub where great thinkers lived and worked side by side, exchanging ideas and pushing boundaries. The Acropolis, with its stunning architecture, was more than just a landmark. It was the crown jewel of their achievements, symbolizing their cultural and intellectual excellence. During this golden age, philosophy, art, and theater didn't develop separately. They flourished together, creating a vibrant, dynamic society. Athens became known as the intellectual capital of the world, a place where ideas thrived and creativity knew no bounds. And at its peak, Athens truly shined, an inspiring example of what a city powered by knowledge and courage can achieve. This is the heart of the message I want to emphasize, how the combination of courage, freedom, and innovation can lead to extraordinary accomplishments. Life is not simply about obtaining riches or material wealth. Instead, it's really a process of knowing oneself, of understanding who we truly are. Now, when we look at figures like Hemlock, who was executed by the state for forcing people to drink poison, it reminds us how much value was placed on virtue back then. Hemlock was seen as a kind of ultimate possession, more valuable than any material thing, because it represented moral integrity and virtue. This ties into the broader idea that the pursuit of virtue and self-knowledge was considered the highest goal. Socrates, in particular, believed in questioning everything, what we now call the Socratic method. Interestingly, Socrates left no writings behind. We know about his teachings mainly through Plato's dialogues. He was famously called the man who knew he knew nothing, which highlights his humility and recognition of the limits of human knowledge. This approach encouraged people to question, to think deeply, and to seek understanding, not just accept what they were told. So, in essence, Socrates' legacy is about the importance of self-awareness and virtue over material wealth, emphasizing that true knowledge begins with recognizing our own ignorance. This idea is central to the overall theme of the presentation, that the real value lies in knowing oneself. The philosopher's job is to show people how little they really know. It's about arriving at the essence of the subject or realizing our own ignorance. By doing so, we open the door to genuine understanding. The key is to identify contradictions, those moments where our beliefs don't hold up, and to rule out false hypotheses. This process helps us move closer to the truth, starting with the belief that we know nothing might feel counterintuitive, but it's essential. Asking questions is how we begin to find that core, that essence of what truly matters. This method, often called the Socratic method, guides us through asking the right questions to uncover wisdom. Overall, it's about using questions to deepen our understanding and challenge assumptions, leading us toward real insight. All philosophy, in a way, can be seen as a footnote to Plato. His ideas have had such a profound influence that many thinkers consider his work the foundation of Western philosophical thought. Now, one of the key ideas Plato proposed is that the material world we see around us is just a shadow of a higher, more real reality. This means that what we perceive with our senses is not the true essence of things. Plato was an idealist, meaning he believed in the supremacy of ideas over physical objects. Interestingly, he opposed the Athenian democracy that emerged after Socrates' death, because he thought that governance should be guided by philosopher kings, wise individuals who understand these higher realities. According to him, these philosopher kings would rule society because they possess the knowledge of the forms, the perfect, eternal ideas that underlie everything. In fact, Plato founded what is considered the world's first university, called the Academy. It was a place dedicated to philosophical inquiry and the pursuit of truth. One of his most profound beliefs was that ideas are more real than the physical world, meaning that the perfect form of a concept like justice or beauty exists in a realm beyond our immediate experience. So, when we say all philosophy is just a footnote to Plato, we're acknowledging how central his ideas are to the entire philosophical tradition, especially the concept that the true reality lies beyond what we can see and touch. Let's take a closer look at Aristotle, often called the man who categorized the world. You see, his work laid the foundation for many fields we study today, from philosophy to science. He founded his own school, the Lyceum, where he focused on organizing knowledge into categories, making sense of the complex world around us. Unlike Plato, who believed in idealism and abstract forms, Aristotle took a more materialist approach. He invented the science of logic, which became a key tool for understanding and analyzing everything from ethics to politics. When we say he's the father of European thought, it's because his method of categorization and systematic approach influenced countless generations, shaping how we think about the world today. So, Aristotle didn't just observe. He structured knowledge in a way that continues to impact us. Let's take a closer look at the great dramatists who shaped Greek theater. First, we have Menander, who pioneered the genre of situational comedy focused on everyday life. His work heavily influenced later Roman theater, helping to establish comedy as a vital part of dramatic tradition. Moving on, Aristophanes was known as the master of comedy. He used sharp satire to mock Athenian society, politics, and even philosophers like Socrates. His plays were bold and often humorous reflections of contemporary issues. Then there's Euripides, often called the psychologist of Greek tragedy. He delved into human psychology, creating complex characters and exploring emotional depth. Think of his portrayal of strong female characters and questioning traditional values. Next, we have Sophocles, the master builder of drama. He wrote over 70 plays and expanded the number of characters in his stories, which allowed for richer conflict and more intricate storytelling. Finally, Aeschylus, known as the father of tragedy, was instrumental in developing the foundational elements of Greek tragedy and was a pioneer in expanding the scale and scope of theatrical production. Together, these dramatists, often called the great dramatists, really laid the groundwork for Western theater, blending tragedy and comedy to explore human nature in all its complexity. Welcome to Slide 8. Here, we see that the plays performed at the theater of Dionysius often explored profound themes such as justice, fate, love, war, and the gods. These themes reflect the core concerns of ancient Greek society and mythology. All citizens were expected to attend these performances as part of their civic duty, emphasizing how integral theater was to community life and cultural identity. The theater wasn't just entertainment. It was a civic responsibility that brought people together. Theater in Athens was a large and significant part of public life. This venue could seat up to 17,000 spectators, making it one of the largest open-air theaters of its time. It was built in the 6th century BC, making it the oldest surviving theater in the world. Located at the foot of the Acropolis, the Theater of Dionysius is often called the birthplace of drama. Comedies and tragedies performed here revealed insights into ancient life, beliefs, and social values. Overall, this theater symbolizes how drama originated in Athens and how it served as a vital space for cultural expression, civic engagement, and the celebration of the gods. Demosthenes once said, "Small opportunities are often the beginning of great enterprises," and this really highlights how even the tiniest chances can lead to something extraordinary. Now, to become the great orator he is known as today, he practiced speaking with pebbles in his mouth. Yes, it sounds harsh, but this self-imposed, self-torture, was actually a clever method to strengthen his voice and overcome his speech difficulties. Despite facing a severe speech impediment, Demosthenes was determined to conquer every obstacle in his path. His unwavering determination is a testament to his character and commitment. This perseverance allowed him to become famous for his fiery speeches against Philip of Macedon, rallying Athens and inspiring his people. He is truly a proof that perseverance can overcome even the most daunting challenges. Demosthenes overcame a significant speech impediment and still became one of the greatest orators in history. He's known as the orator who overcame silence, showing us that with enough resolve, we can transform our weaknesses into strengths. Today, I want to talk about how these early historians approached their work and what made their contributions so important. Thucydides, for example, wrote for future generations to understand war. He aimed to separate fact from fable and focused on evidence, which was quite revolutionary at the time. He also wrote from his personal viewpoint and analysis, giving us a more nuanced understanding of the Peloponnesian War. Because of his detailed chronicling, he's often called the first journalist. His focus was on storytelling and culture, but he also sometimes mixed fact with fiction and mythology, reflecting the storytelling styles of his era. On the other hand, Herodotus, from Halicarnassus, who later moved to Athens, is known as the father of history. He documented the Persian Wars with detailed accounts and laid the groundwork for historical writing. Both Thucydides and Herodotus are considered the fathers of history, but their approaches highlight different methods, one more analytical and evidence-based, the other more narrative and cultural. Understanding their differences helps us see how the art of history evolved, from myth and storytelling to a more critical, evidence-driven approach. This shift is key to appreciating how history can inform us today, separating truth from fiction and providing a clearer picture of the past. Rediscovery led to the science of harmony in the Renaissance, a time when people began to see the interconnectedness of everything. Harmony wasn't just about music. It was a humanistic art form, much like poetry and sculpture, that reflected the beauty and order of the human spirit. This idea centered on humans, focusing on the heart and character, the core of what makes us unique. It suggested that through harmony, we could influence not just our emotions, but also our very souls. Interestingly, these principles showed that the universe itself operates according to mathematical laws, rules that are consistent and universal. Just as these laws govern the cosmos, they also have the power to change us internally, to elevate our character and spirit. This concept of harmony was seen as a kind of magical force, something almost mystical, that could shape the soul. It's a profound idea that connects the physical and the spiritual, the outer and the inner worlds. All of this ties into what is known as the doctrine of ethos, which is the idea that music and art can influence moral character and virtue. Finally, this notion of harmony and its significance was not new. It was rooted in ancient Greece, especially in their understanding of music. In ancient Greece, music was more than entertainment. It was a vital part of life that carried moral and philosophical weight, shaping the very foundation of Western thought on the power of sound and rhythm. Let's start with Socrates, who famously said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." This quote really highlights the importance of critical thinking and self-reflection, ideas that underpin much of Western philosophy. Moving on, the ancient Greeks developed the theory of harmony and scales, which form the foundation of Western music as we know it today. This shows how their intellectual pursuits extended into the arts, shaping the way we create and appreciate music. In addition, the Greeks established the discipline of recording, analyzing, and learning from the past, what we now call history. This approach of studying and understanding previous events helps inform our current decisions and cultural development. When it comes to storytelling, they created the structures of comedy, tragedy, and drama, which are still the backbone of modern theater and film storytelling. And of course, they laid the groundwork for logic, ethics, and the scientific method, critical tools for rational thought and scientific progress. All these contributions, philosophy, music, history, theater, are interconnected pieces that form the foundation of Western civilization. Together, they showcase the incredible legacy of ancient Greece and its lasting impact on our world today.